everyone, welcome back. We're about to head into episode 14 of Dawson's Creek. I'm guessing we're going to be back on the film set, possibly. But it was nice to see Jerry and Dawson kind of hash things out and form back a sort of bond in their friendship. Now let's see how that goes. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share.
Can't believe you made this whole thing by yourself. Congratulations, Jack.
That's super
I'm
impressive.
not completely done, though. I mean, I still have this whole back section of paint.
It's good, though.
Just get the right lens and the right light, you get the perfect quaint Creekside Village.
Yeah,
Amazing
and it's
what it
really easy and saves money.
Excuse me, I have a ton of homework to do, including Peterson's assignment, which I haven't even started yet. Yeah, I haven't either.
I remember this episode.
Casey!
Mr. Milo, now before you say
Oh,
anything,
is this the teacher?
I came to see you. You posted 3 B's, 2 A's.
Whoa.
You know, I don't think I've ever seen you smile before,
Because
Mr.
you've never
Milo.
given him a reason to smile. Kissy kissy.
That's for her.
Just cuz.
Don't even.
What, we can have it just cuz?
Sure, in private.
Oh?
Some braces are better left for bedrooms and private sunsets.
Okay.
Some people are capable of moving beyond those petty long-time rivalries to a higher ground.
Yeah, right.
And we know
If
why.
Jack wasn't doing your movie, Dawson, he'd still be the enemy.
True. That is true.
Jen, that's not all that I am. All right, for your information, I'm not some Bible-banging Dorcas McForcus here.
Oh.
Okay,
It's her
obviously
religion.
Religion is something that's very important to you. I just see it as an inevitable obstacle in our relationship. But you go to these Bible meetings 3 times a week, and that's probably how many times I've been to church in the past 10 years, so...
Yeah, that matches up.
Mr. Witter.
Oh, it's this teacher.
Left it right here in my binder.
Ode to the Sports Car.
I remember disliking this teacher, and I remember why now.
You have 2 choices. You can bring the poem in tomorrow, written legibly, or you can hand it in as it is, and the highest grade you'll see will be your old friend, the letter D.
Why, though, if it's not a bad poem? What, because...
Fairness is overrated.
But clearly doing your job correctly is overrated.
Hey, it's not just you.
Excuse me, Mr. McPhee?
Oh, no.
Then perhaps you would like to read your poem for the class. Please, read us your poem.
No, I don't like this. This is intentional what this teacher's doing.
Today. Today was a day the world got smaller.
Continue.
I grew more afraid. Not of what I am, but what I could be.
He's enjoying this. Look at that.
And I see him. I keep thinking.
And Pacey caught on to what was going on before it happened.
He's reading this poem and he is just crying.
Shut up.
Who's this? Jack McPhee, the new kid. Here's the best part. The poem, it's about a guy.
This is teenagers.
Give validity to some ridiculous rumor that Jack's gay?
No, Joey, I never said that.
You pretty much did.
Yeah, he did.
I hope that you know me well enough to know that my concern is genuine, okay? There's no need to be so
It's partially genuine.
Why don't we just say what this conversation is really about? Your passive-aggressive way of highlighting some flaw in Jack that would get us to break up.
It's way over the line.
He is kind of, I feel, doing that, but she's also being defensive. But when is Joey not defensive?
Well, I don't understand why he had to write that poem to begin with.
I mean, if you hadn't written something that could have been so easily misinterpreted.
Yeah, no, this is how you know that something like this has happened before.
I know Jack better than you do, Pacey. And ever since we were kids, he's had this whole different drummer thing going on. And not everybody gets it. And he should have known better than to expose himself to someone as venomous as Peterson, that's all.
That's really callous of you, Andy.
Well, for starters, about the poem. Maybe it wasn't misinterpreted.
No. No. Jack is not gay.
Yes.
Well, hypothetically speaking, if Jack were gay,
Yeah.
how'd that make you feel?
I guess I'd be disappointed. I don't need this, okay? I don't need to be attacked over some hypothetical feeling about a
No,
hypothetical
you don't like the
situation.
fact that your bigotry showed.
Here, I can take that back.
He has been quiet as a church mouse
Yeah.
all night. What happened?
Is this... Oh, the rainbow flags behind. I never noticed that before, ever. Foreshadowing. This is hard on Jack. It's hard on Joey too. It's hard on, yeah, a lot of people.
Long day, huh?
You want to ask me something? I suggest you just ask it.
It's just that, you know, being the one that you are dating, it'd be nice to know if there was a particular reason why you did write a poem about a guy.
Oh, I hate that teacher so much.
I don't know. It hit a weird nerve when I started reading it.
There's the point that she's trying to make Jack.
Good evening. So you singing tonight?
Yeah, I'm up next in request.
Yeah. Something romantic. And 2 martinis?
You got it, Ty.
Can you drink?
Come rain, oh come
I kind of, when I was that age, I would have liked to have been there, but I would have been doing something else. Never mind.
Mr. McPhee,
Yes.
would you care to continue reading your now very public work of poetry?
Why would you keep doing this to him?
I am. You left us high and dry.
If you're so unhappy in your job, go somewhere else, you miserable old man.
You want somebody to read the poem, I'll read it. Today.
Oh, no.
Darker. I grew more afraid. Not of what I
this
am, but of what I
instant.
could be.
I
lose
said-
my
So the
heart
boom
as
light.
the breath of my eye fade, and I
You
see
will listen to me when I talk to you, young man.
Yeah. What?
Everybody else in this classroom may be afraid of you, but I'm not. I see your miserable scare tactics for exactly what they are. The misguided lashings of a bitter, lonely old man.
Trying to teach people like you is like spitting in the face of the entire educational system.
No, sir.
Oh! I really thought he was going to punch him. Oh.
I want to apologize.
Yes, you will, Pacey.
No, I won't.
The child's an insubordinate little waste.
Hey, you're hardly innocent, dear.
Now, what does that mean?
You made a student cry. Another student had an excessive reaction.
It's the fact that he won't own up to his part in it.
Hey, Jack. Listen, man, you didn't have to come down here. I mean, I appreciate it, but...
I didn't. Milo wants to talk to me. Can only imagine what about.
Yeah, they wanted me to apologize, and...
Is Jack going to say you should?
I can handle my own battles. You know, I didn't need you to make a spectacle of this whole thing.
Whoa, stop right there, Jack. I thought I was helping you out.
Yeah.
We weren't. I didn't need a hero.
Or maybe you say thank you for someone who actually had your back, Jack?
Gay and okay? What's your sexuality? Am I gay?
But of course they would be on there because of the issue. What that teacher did, though, and taking no responsibility...
Not gonna survive a suspension, Pacey. It'll destroy all the hard work you've done, and you'll be right back at square one.
An academic loser.
That's not what I said.
But it's what you felt.
Oh no, what... Did they rate the word faggot or something? On his locker? Fag, yeah.
Thanks for cleaning up.
Mm-hmm. Talk to your brother.
Both of us.
Yeah, but you're better suited for this sort of thing.
Yeah, but no one's suited for public ridicule, Andy. You just deal with it.
As much as you can try.
Everything that has happened to us in our lives just made me so afraid. And I just didn't think that anybody could understand that, especially you. I mean, you're so strong and...
He's not, though.
And then I read this. It's, your poem. I kept one of the ones that I tore down. Jack, you're terrified, and I'm your sister, and I had no idea. And I just want you to know that I'm here for you.
That was really a beautiful scene, and he needed that, especially from his sister, because he's not really had anyone. The only person who's defended him has been Pacey, and Pacey didn't do it in the best way possible.
I'm thinking that maybe you were right about Jack in the poem. If I do that, then he'll know that I've considered it. And if he knows that I've considered it, then it'll always be there that I've considered it. And...
But it's better to find out.
The obvious but unspoken topic. The thing that's always lurking but never brought up.
Like between you two.
The elephant.
You know, this isn't funny.
I'm sorry, I had to say that. We have to ask him.
Because of the setup of the thing at the end, they can't have him facing her. They have to do their talk like this. He's so arrogant. Look at him. I hate people like him so much.
You know, maybe I should just do it. Just apologize. You don't think what I did is right, do you?
No, he doesn't.
And if I go in there and I can't apologize? Would you be ashamed of me?
Hell no.
In my lifetime, Pacey, I will never be ashamed of you.
Well, was it? I don't know. You never know what the future holds.
I should start by saying that I'm more ashamed of what I did in that classroom yesterday than of anything I've ever done in my entire life.
But
I'm not now, nor will I ever be apologetic for its intention.
Good.
And I am not afraid to tell you that what happened in that classroom yesterday was not right.
It
To
was
make
wrong.
a student cry, to embarrass him, to strip him of his dignity in front of his classmates is not right.
And then he made Jack, or tried to make Jack read it out a second time. Good on you, Pacey. It's such a refreshing look back on a show that I would have had probably a different view as a kid to an actual adult watching this years later, understanding it so much better.
This has been in me for a week. Why'd you bother coming down here?
I mean, it's only a week. It wasn't
I
worse.
care about you.
Do you?
What kind of question is that?
It's a reasonable one, Andy.
Actually, yeah, I agree with him. Where have you been?
How much I needed your support?
Pacey, I can't support everything you do. I never
I don't
will.
want you to agree with every decision I ever make.
Yeah,
What
it's
I'm
about respecting.
looking for is to know that some way, somehow, you're there for me.
How dare you?
It's me. You weren't there for your brother Jack either.
Oh, yes, I was. I apologized to him, and I came to apologize to you, too. But for some reason, I was struggling with it all the way down here. But you knew what you were doing in that classroom.
What would you have me do? Just stand there and let Peterson do that to him when I
There
knew the
are
whole
other
time
ways of
that it
handling
was
that
my fault,
situation.
Andy?
Yeah, he feels guilty because he started on Mr.
Peterson
Peterson.
knew that he couldn't get the best of me, so he went after your brother. If I hadn't instigated him that day,
None of it would have happened.
it would have ever happened. That's why I had to stop it. However I could, I had to stop it.
Why didn't you tell me that you felt...
Because you didn't give him a chance, Andy.
Because, Andy, you didn't want to hear about it.
He's not wrong.
Do you want me to come with you?
Oh, I don't think that's a good idea. No. I loved how they did this scene and how quickly he was able to express just what he really felt without them taking too long in the scene. This is a good scene.
ask him, and I know that you already told me that the poem wasn't about a guy, but I feel like when we discussed it, we never really discussed it, and I never really asked him.
She's nervous.
I'm not gay.
Yes.
Hello again. Your words, they make me...
The thing is that this won't go away. This is him just trying to kind of deal with the issue the best way he knows how. All of them dealing with the best way they know how. She's smiling. What's Jack looking like?
I'm not gay, Joey.
Here we go. Jack. Yeah. So I knew this was coming in season 2. I knew Jack comes out in season 2. Or at least there's the whole poem, I should say, because he hasn't actually come out yet. It was an interesting take. I can only relay how I felt as a kid, which was being very shocked in the moment when it happened, because I didn't ever, like, they didn't even allude to anything like it. It just kind of comes out of nowhere. There's no any hints, or at least maybe they're very subtle, but there was never any inklings or anything said. It just kind of, happened in this episode. So I don't know if that was always the intention. I know the creator is a gay man, Kevin Williamson, so, I'm guessing a part of that moment is his real life reflected in Jack and elements of it, especially being a 16, 17-year-old. And yeah, so I remember as a kid being very, very shocked. Obviously, there feels like there's been clues that they've been leaving in the background, subtle clues, especially this episode where you pick up on it more. But it's very clear that poem was a very realistic interpretation of a feeling of when you feel you're different, and it's something that, especially in the 90s, it wouldn't have really been easy. I mean, you saw it. There was rampant homophobia. There was people just mocking him. His own sister, Andy, made it about herself. She does have that habit of making things about herself. That's part of her personality. She was frustrated. I'm glad she did sort it out with Jack. But she was always quick to blame Pacey and not be there. You don't have to agree with what he did, but knowing that someone still supports you, that's kind of an important foundation in a relationship. And no one really had Pacey's back. Not even Jack. But Jack was the most understandable out of everyone. Do I agree with Pacey spitting? No, not at all. I really thought he was going to punch the guy. I completely forgot he spat in his face. But it was hard to watch as well. It's a great episode. Very important, poignant episode. And the whole poem again, yeah, very relatable. It was so hard watching it as well, just not wanting to punch. The actor who plays the teacher does a great job, because he intentionally, as Pacey said, was he got to Jack that way because he couldn't get to Pacey. So he used Jack because he couldn't get to Pacey. And that, it was hard, especially because I think that teacher is not supposed to be straight himself. So the enjoyment he got of outing someone, the pleasure he got from it, and then to talk about Pacey the way he did, and the principal didn't say anything. In fact, that teacher defended him, but that principal didn't do anything in the case of saying, as a teacher, you shouldn't be talking about a student, because they do talk about students like that. He reminds me of my drama teacher in a way. Awful woman, I remember her. There's just some people you will never respect, and she was one of those after what she did to me. And it was kind of hard to watch, right? It was because it was such an important moment, and it was taken away from Jack. Jack thought he had this freedom to kind of read it silently. Instead, this teacher made him read it out, wanted him to read it out again, and then enjoyed what he was inflicting on someone else. And that should never be what a teacher does. And so yeah, the whole idea of it, I think, is a really good story. But it does frustrate me watching it as an adult. Again, I don't agree with Pacey spitting, but I am actually on Pacey's side in what he did. It is not just the guilt he felt, but he was actually standing up for someone. And especially at such a young age, because they're very young. And I don't know if I would have as a kid. I don't know, because I probably would have been more confused about the whole situation with Jack. But Pacey is by far, for me, the best character in season 2. No one comes even close to him. What they've done with this character and what Andy has been able to bring out in Pacey is such a joy to watch, because Pacey makes mistakes, but he takes ownership of that. Like, he's the most mature out of all of them. I would love to see them all come back as a group at some point, because I never realized how divided everyone is, and they have their own scenes. I mean, Jen is not even with them. She has her own story arc going on, but it's like, could we have you a little bit back in the show? We're almost into season 3, and I feel they're more divided now than ever. Season 1, they were together. Now, season 2, they're not. It's like, I'd like for them to be able to film scenes together, but it's kind of hard because you only get them at points. I'm glad Pacey just didn't like the idea of what he did, but couldn't respect what that teacher did. That was taking ownership of yourself, but also standing your ground. I'm so curious how they're going to deal when Jack does come out. We saw that last shot with him sad and scared, and it's got to happen. And it probably will happen in not that too many episodes, maybe the next episode, the episode after that. Something will happen where it will be brought up again, or he'll come out. It was a very strong episode for me. Very kind of hard one to watch, because I knew what was coming, kind of. I don't know what I was fully expecting, but I was really into this episode, really watching how they were going to deal with these issues, because I do actually think they did a good job of representing how everyone kind of felt, but also what Jack was going to go through, also the teacher, just how much he enjoyed it, and there was absolutely no remorse for what he did. It was such a pleasure. And don't forget, Jack's very young. To out someone still in high school could be extremely, extremely dangerous, because you don't know what people can do to you. And again, this was the 90s, so the whole trying to do a gay storyline never really was done with the best intentions. But I actually think this episode did a really good job of highlighting issues and responses from people. I've really liked what they did. Thank you for watching.